All right, this is Black Knight. I'm just doing a walkthrough of the IL-2 Cliffs of Dover Blitz to Brook Edition, and this is for the Team Fusion guys. I said I'd broadcast this at 6, but I'm going to do it now and see if there's anything that I need to fix up later at 6 o'clock. Right now I'm spawned in at a Wellington, and I don't really care how it's done. It's just trying to get this game more player-centered in online play, which could incorporate a lot of what the single player has to offer. And those guys that want to build campaigns, it would make building a campaign that much easier with less coding. An air spawn back here at Farnborough, and I believe there's one at Reading. I'm going to be at Reading. I'm just going to do the Reading air spawn. Now, I have this set up for only 5 right now, but you could bring in 10, 20, 30, 40 bombers in one flight if that's 5, possibly 5. Now, when I create the bombers, the first problem is that I am not the lead. The client is not the lead plane. I don't have command over the flight right when I come in. So when I hit create, I don't know why we've got really bad sound here on this spawn. So I brought my guys in. I checked my temperatures here, make sure I don't blow an engine, even though the sound's not coming in correctly, to follow me. And if you notice, they're not, so I don't know what happened in that spawn. So I'm going to come down here to Farnborough Air Spawn. I'm going to try to get in. I'm just going to try it with 5. I'm going to get my Wellington 1C late. I've got my loadout. I'm going to hit my 5 planes, and I'm going to come in, as I said before, my bombs. Now, if I come outside the view again and take a look around, my guys are now coming towards me. I should have 5. Okay, so I'm going to take back command of the aircraft and do that, like move the waypoint number 2 from here to where you're bombing, and then change it to bomb, to attack ground point, create a way of adjusting the waypoint to, I have the ability to command them to come in close, near, middle, or far. You can set your spread of your bomber. Normally, I just use near and close. Bombers that are following me, follow my lead. For example, if I open my bomb bay doors and I look back behind me and I go to an outside view, none of my guys' doors are open. So right now, I am not in command of the flight. I am not the flight leader. So when I hit my bomb bay doors, they should all open theirs. And as I said before, because if I do that on Fatal's server on the Son of Khan, Buzzsaw, if I do that on Khan, it blows up my plane. He has it written in the code. It destroys the plane. I lose the plane because he doesn't want you leaping from plane to plane. So if I come in right away grasp. Now, for the ground targets, for a Wellington, I don't think it's that big of an issue. But to have something for ground targets as well as air targets in the menu, again, going back to Fatal and Flood, the ability to attack, and last but not least, giving us the ability to move waypoint 2 to wherever we're flying. Grabbing this waypoint here, selecting it. Do you get what I'm saying? Trying to figure out some way, select waypoint in this list. Select waypoint. That comes in and grabs all of those aircraft is the lead player. So he doesn't have to jump out and jump back in. But to get command of an entire flight of planes in Warbirds of Prey, all you have to do is jump out, jump back in. The only issue is, let's say, since you're still the lead plane, and I lock this off in autopilot. Let's get things squared away on this plane, so that I then can go to the Bombardier and set up once I'm in autopilot. That's all I was trying to get to was, okay. And then setting up my bomb site. Eliminates all the bomber cover that AI has on the con server. You can bring in your number of flight and aircraft just at the airfield or air spawn. I've also learned that, and it also, the map aspect, the moving of the waypoint can also work for your fighters. Like I said, if you can select it and then paste it or move waypoint to whatever on your map. So right now I have waypoint 2. If I could grab it here and place it here on the in-game map, I mean, under tools, I have the ability to create a waypoint. I have the ability to create a waypoint. And if I'm in the main map menu, but in the in-game flight, being able to grab this waypoint and creating it. Or even where you want to drop your bombs. Ground attack point. Zoom in on Coquel's airfield to the best of your ability. Waypoint is not aircraft factory gun. Open their bomb bay doors. Get out of this cloud. See, mine are open, theirs aren't. Take a whole squadron of 6, or even a whole squadron of 12. You know, that's what I was going to talk about next. Right now, but if you get the idea, it's all player-centered. You call in the number of planes, they take all those things. For bombing now is the player coming into the multiple player server. He has those capabilities. He's already the lead plane. Now, what I was looking for a coder is how to become the lead plane. I'm not going to go bomb anything. I'm just going to go for the ground targets menu under air targets. which don't work very well at all right now if I get a group. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to spawn in a fighter group where I wanted it. So for example, going back to what I said before for the bombers, if I had the ability to move waypoint 2 from where I spawned, if I had the ability to move waypoint 2 or create a new waypoint, or they'll follow me anyways to waypoint 3, but once they get to that waypoint, if I'm being engaged, it's going to be a free hunt. Or you just give me the waypoint, and in the tab menu, if I hit the tab menu, why isn't the tab menu working? All right, if I hit the tab menu, those air targets, something in there works better. All right, I'm going to go to Gravesend. I'll start. Hopefully he'll taxi to the runway. Get my menu back up. My menu tab's not working. That's weird. Six works well on a short, small air base. I'm going to take command. And I'm going to go tab 77. See if this guy followed me. Is Pine Tree 2 ready for takeoff? Okay, so he called out he's ready for takeoff. He's now taking off. Got my gear. Put my gear up, touch my screen. Put my gear up, touch my screen. I'm going to go out, come back in, make sure that he's following me. I want to remove the gear because it doesn't seem to be following me. Therein lies the dilemma. Following me, but for some reason don't seem to be having a server that is functioning correctly. And I'm all right, I'm back in that hurricane again, and or I can get on the runway, and I don't want the outside view, but I have to take the outside view and then hit my take control of AI aircraft to get me back in the plane so that I can control over me and my wingman. Now let's say number 2 ready for takeoff. So I'm waiting for my number 2 man, hopefully follows me. Now, again, to remove waypoint 2 and put it out here to the sector to where I want to patrol, make sure this guy is not seeing him yet. See, he's already hit the second waypoint, which I'm kind of nervous about because I want him to get away from that waypoint. Therein lies the dilemma from taking off the base. He's already going to set up to land. The second option I did for fighters, eject here. The second option for fighters, eject here. The second option I did for, I go click OK. I go, okay, well, I want a 3x3, I want 6. And then I hit create. Now we're flying. I kick myself out. I put myself back in. I have bombs. Oh, bomb explosion or attack enemy near bomb explosion. And put that into the code so wherever I drop my bombs, my guys now go in and drop their bombs. That would work perfect. Because now all these guys are with me. Here they come. So in the menu, in the tab menu, just shallow dive, commanding them to attack ground targets, or whatever. It's now up to the server and the multiple player to decide what that base can launch. I really would like it to work truly, maybe not for the fighter aspect, but for the bomber aspect formation menu, to get my group to open bomb bay doors and to get my group to release bombs. I drop my bombs and then I kick the key and tell them in the tab menu to release their bombs. Let's say I grab the recipient and I then go flight. Let's say I tell flight 1 to go bomb a different Knickerbein point or this waypoint. Okay, so we scroll in and we go, okay, Dunkirk factory section here, and I place a waypoint, and that waypoint is factory, and it's waypoint 4 now to come out. And then you've got the Lancaster. Oh my golly. The night flights, the day flights, if you make the map Scotland to Germany and give us some factories to bomb in Germany, I'd do anything. My guys will keep their bombs. I have no way to command them in the menu to bomb ground targets. I don't. That's one of the major malfunctions. I think it would be facilities. And I would use the concept of what Flug has, bomb enemy nearest to target, or whatever, or just attack ground targets. Because that's what it is, or attack column, tank column, trucks, attack trucks. or any ground targets. I think any is here in just a second. The other thing is, let's make sure, okay. The other thing is I can't command them. Let's do one, let's do group 7. I can't command them like my group 2 pound ground at them for 3 for fighters, just in case. We get bounced. The radar. Could make that focus more on the radar. Again, that's the gist of it. Okay. The menu. I do have what's called scripted missions. Now the other thing is they won't land because the airspawn does not. Waypoint 3 is not a landing waypoint. So that's something you need to put in the code, that when you create an air spawn base and you bring in aircraft, fuel depot, and we'll fly fighter bombers like we just did. We'll fly 9 of them, 2 balloon locks. So if I hit 6 and escape, I then can go, okay, here are all these pilots. I'm going to grab one, and I'm going to kick my circ. So if you launch a scripted mission, you can launch one out of the fighter squadrons. Okay, so at least they're still coming up. Now I'm flying in this group. I don't have the lead. That was the So trying to find said lead pilot in the 242 squadron has been, same thing happens, is that they don't bomb. Unless I'm on waypoint 4 and I let AI fly it to waypoint 4. Cool thing would be able to do the lead plane in here and go to the tab menu. As I said before, air targets, ground targets, you get to tell them to attack the targets. We're flying to waypoint 4. I'm going to slow up so everybody can catch up. And I'm going to change my formation. I'm going to fly this plane over and attack the target. So, as I was saying, there would be no angle and they fly it over. They jump in 88, they spawn in an air base, they get to the runway, they line up, they take off, or they do an air spawn, which is the easiest I found. I mean, I would go to air spawns automatically for bomber flights, just because you can get coordinate planes follow you. It's a done deal. Then there's no, like the struggle that I have with the con server is there's so many AI bomber flights and they're doing all of the work when it should be players doing the work. That's what I'm working on here, Warbirds of Prey. Thank you, artists. Thank you for the coding. I learned how you had it set up, was able to give myself a whole list of possible bomber command areas and targets. Makes it multiple player tenfold for us, for me as a mission builder. But I guarantee you, for everybody else, it would be huge. That would be a huge, to me, that would be a huge fix. Except for possible patrols and intercepts. I have to look at my map, not even, it looks like my guy is flying possibly for French points. Maybe not. So it's somewhere down here. I don't know, I think I did it at St. Michael's. See if he gets close to St. Michael's and turns. Almost looks like he's going all the way down. See if the AI, let's see, I want to go 613622. Get myself in a pick. Again, that's the other thing. You have command of the formations and the close. I've got everybody except for the one that I think that spawned on the hillside. To where only players are bombing targets and not AI. This can really set up a unique multiple player scenario. All right, I'm good. All right, again, that's all I had. I want to make sure that I want to give up the plane. I'm going to give up the lead plane for a subordinate plane here because I want them to all bomb. Number or the letter of the plane you're in, that would help out. Alright, I think it's just me and this guy out here. So I'm going to catch up just when I'm close with him. Again, this is what I've been working on at Warbirds of Prey. You can take a squad to fly a wingman flight. You can even fly those as flight lead and fly to all the waypoints on the map. Or doesn't really matter, fly directly to the area and they'll engage because they're automatically triggered to a free hunt. Get some more coffee. And those of you who are out there with A-Tag, you're always welcome to join me, get on my Discord. Send me a message at warbirdsprey@gmail.com, warbirdsprey@gmail.com. People can grab a hold of and go bomb. But also looking for a coder to maybe do the group thing through the menu, through the mission menu, so that my guys open their bomb bay doors and they release when I release. It's the group recognizing the player, the client taking the plane and spawning it at an airbase is the flight leader. But if you can't find that, even though I come out and take control of the AI, as I do, boom, boom, okay, you have to come up with a different tab menu to do ground pounding with fighter bombers. Air targets, ground targets, navigation, ground control. You have room to add that capability. Because then, if I am over the target here, I mean, you can't find the time to meet with me for an hour with one of your coders. just saying. It was enjoyable flying with you on A-Tag. Good hearing your voice and engaging with us. I've been on A-Tag flying the whole group in Agler Tag. Easy to do. All we would need is 5 to 6 bomber pilots. And we could recreate Agler Tag and make it player-centered and not AI. Everybody should be set to 11 seconds. .109's overhead, gentlemen. 109's overhead. Here we go. They've all dropped their bombs. Pretty much out of the fight, I think. I'm not going to waste another bullet on it. Alright, we got my guy shooting him. You notice if it says free hunt in the mission, they automatically get in the fight. Gunnery's not the best. I have it on medium, the gunnery of the AI. Working flaps and radiator. Oh, get him! Get him! Come on. Missed. I'm out. Gotta move out of this. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Boy, stay in this fight. Oh, shit. Okay, here we go. I'm just spraying terrible. A tail shot. Trigger's light, so I'm about out of ammo. It became really easy to get the structure that I wanted. I think I'm gonna go home. So, just for review, being able to do an air spawn, you as the player have command over the planes as soon as you come in. So if I hit create, I have command over these planes. And the sad thing is, the thing would be, the only thing would be put it on autopilot. No, I won't, because my artificial horizon screwed up. But I'll slow up, put it on like 3 pounds boost. I'll come outside again and take a look. Here come my guys to get into a Vic formation. In all the bombers, I'm flying with all the bombers. I have command of all of the bombers. And then I no longer need any of the bomber command flights. They're all gone. I would remove them from my map because I know every bomber group coming over possibly or is a player. And his player with his AI. This could be number 2, B, C, D, E, F, G. I could go to B. I could go to B and still be in the flight, taking my bomber flight. So those guys have to knock all of my bombers down. They'll have to knock all of my bombers down. AI, it's a harder time for AI to get to me and kill me. And if you've got a good set of bombers stacked in a nice javelin formation or a diamond formation in B-17s, holy shit, that's going to be a bullet storm. Just saying. But again, it's all... I wish you guys all the best. This game by far... I think once you produce the VR and the 4K and you get moving in that direction, there's going to be a lot of people that come to this map. And just to even if it was 3 hours, I'd do it. I do believe the average flight is like 2.5 hours, but I'm not sure. I looked it up once. But it's up to you guys. Anyways, I'm in an air base and you take command of them by, you got to release the seat and take control of the AI to get the seat back, and then those guys will then fly with you. But since there's the air targets in the command menu does not work very well in commanding your players prior to any fight. Anyways, so for example, if you spawned them in fighters and Buzzsaw and you spawned them in and all of these points that get plotted on the map were free hunt for fighters, that would be perfect. And the hopefully the stream went well. It was in, oh shit. It's almost 6 o'clock, so I'm going to restart the broadcast and do it again. So for some of you that were listening before, this will be a repeat. Okay, so I'm in from scratch. The problem is they won't land. So I have to do it this way to get them off the map. Otherwise, they will take forever to land. Okay. First, does everybody follow me? You could make this 40 bombers. I only did 5 for this demonstration. Okay, I'm going to get a swig of my coffee. So I've got 5 bombers. Line abreast in an air spawn. Air spawn seems to work, but I'm not. They're all flying on their own. So I have to give up the seat. And they'll all come back to me, but then I want command of the seat. I'm now turning. Okay, so I'm pretty much leveled off. I can give it back to AI. And then, oh. Okay, my planes are now coming to me. Again, tab 613, Vic, tab 622. So, I'm going to look outside behind me. They're all now slotting to their proper formation, following the lead plane's commands. So I'm going to take back command of the plane. So, the other thing that they won't do is they won't drop their bombs. So if you can get them the ability to, is if you have the ability to move the waypoint or create waypoints in your own flight path, whether it's on this map or on this map. You have the ability to create a waypoint. You have the ability to remove a waypoint in his server. But they'll fly with me. The only thing that'll happen is they drop their bombs. But they don't need to. I don't even need that. I just need them to follow me as the lead ship. And you could all bomber formations in every server can now be played. Have to do to get command of them and get them to fly with me, but they won't follow my drop. Fatal, it's relatively easy, and if you wanted to come chat with me about it and what I've been working on and how to incorporate it into the server. Outside, got open bomb bay doors. It's fixed. That would be perfect. Give us command of the bomber planes as soon as we spawn them in an air spawn at an air base. And then Fatal, I would say you can eliminate half of your bomber formation spawning in and just give it to human beings, which then would make your campaign 10 times better. Anyways, that's the bomber aspect. Now, for the fighter aspect, it's a different story. I'm going to give this plane back to AI, and I'm going to jump in. I'm going to jump in 5. I'm going to bring in 3 and 3. And then I'm going to hit create. And then I'm going to jump out of my plane. I'm going to jump back in. And I've got bombs. See, here's a prime example. I don't want to carry bombs. But most of my points, if I have the ability to move said waypoint into the area that I want to patrol and change that waypoint to free hunt, that would be perfect. It would even be better if I'm at the air base and have the ability on, okay, before I go to create, I spawn in, I change the recipients, tried element, flight, and group to get them to follow my command. I also want to make sure that they're not going to the next waypoint, because the next waypoint is fly over the airbase waypoint. Flight 2, so if I go to flight, it's only giving me flight 1. I should be able to have a sub-menu that says flight 2, to where then I could go to air targets and go attack the bombers. Planes, and then some of them could be AI, but yet it could be the full ag or tag fight. Just say it could just be one hell of a show. But the AI it's what the player brings there. Again, I just want an hour of your time to explain what you could do for the multiple player game for us mission builders, as well as us bomber pilots. I am a fighter jockey, yes, I love the Hurricane. Yes, I'm glad I've got my 2C. I'm quite deadly with it. I'm giving them now to you because I don't know, I know you're busy. I was right there in the room. I'm gonna say, well, Harry, what do you got? Black Knight, what are you trying to do? Let me take some notes. Let me find out from you. That could have dogfight and having a plane, warp away or disappear and then come back. Especially if I'm trying to shoot it down. I do like the prop wash in DCS. Makes the dogfight a little bit more unique in fighting and your angles of attack, and the distance and where you might shoot at. Changes fires, HE, and then my one tracer. And now you can't, until they get that fixed. Here's where the attack ground targets, not air targets, but ground targets. Attack ground targets nearest explosion. Just attack ground targets. Once I command them, they just go into a loop over where I hit the command, and within 1,000 meters. Oh, I missed that. Bad. Not even close to that radar. Their thoughts. Engaging pilots. Now, I'm going to fly around, and they're going to still carry their bombs until they get attacked, and then they'll drop them, but they won't attack any of the fighters. None of that menu will get them to engage. You'll be going to tab 4, having it already set bomb explosion on my bomb explosion. But you should have the ability to put the waypoint over the area and then set it for ground targets. If I can do that on the map, then they already know when they get to that waypoint. Alright, I'm going to start flying back towards home. I've got these 109s, they're real tall and intercepting. I should have some low intercepts as well. They're coming down from so high, 15,000. I could even have some. And then I fly near to a base where he spawns in. He then can jump in my aircraft and jump in as my wingman, and I'm already en route. Even a command to release bombs and when you're into a dogfight. Just a thought under that ground targets. Let's see, there's a fight there. 109 going up right there. Alright, let's see how I do on this shot. push pull. And then if you do an air spawn, gentlemen, over a base or near a base, enjoy your flying today. If you're going to be on, hope to see you on my server, on APAG, on wherever. Come join us here with Cliffs of Dover Blitz Steam Edition. You can get to Brook and Blitz reasonably priced if you are a flight sim enthusiast. By the way, love the Sicily map, guys. Looking forward to it. The only thing that I would say on the Sicily map, make it bigger. Please. Make it bigger. Just say. Take us up into Italy. I really